Hello guys, I'm Vishali Kikan and we are discussing the redox processes. So today we are going to talk about the electrolytic cell first of all, and then we are going to solve some questions based upon the redox processes. So let's start our discussion with the electrolytic cell. What is the electrolytic cell? To understand the electrolytic cell, you must understand what is the electrolysis. Electrolysis is a process by which we are breaking down the substances. The substances are present either in the molten state or in the solution. Substances are not present in the solid state. So when I have a molten substance or the solution of the substance, and when I am passing the electricity or the electric current through it, it is going to get breakdown. So this process is called the electrolysis. Now coming to the electrolysis of molten salts. So we have a molten salt of lead bromide, right? You can see in the diagram as well that we have a electrolysis process where we have taken the molten salt of lead bromide, right? Here we have two electrodes. Now the processes that will be happening over here is PbBr2, right? That is my lead bromide which is present in the liquid form, right? So this liquid form PbBr2, when the electrical energy or the electrical current is passing through it, it is going to break down into the Pb in the liquid, the lead in liquid plus Br2, right? So this is how we are going to break down the lead bromide while passing the electrical energy. So at the positive electrode, what will happen? At the positive electrode, 2Br negative in liquid state, it is going to oxidize to form the Br2 plus 2 electrons. This is the oxidation process, and thus I can call the positive electrode here as the anode because the oxidation process is happening over the anode. Right here you can see we have the 2 electrons formed over here. So 2Br negative in liquid is giving me Br2 in gaseous form plus 2 electron. This is the process of oxidation, and thus positive electrode is anode. Coming to the negative electrode. At the negative electrode, what is happening? The lead 2 positive in liquid state, it is adding or gaining 2 electrons to form the lead in the liquid state. So this process is called the reduction, and thus the negative electrode is called as the cathode. So I hope you understood why I am calling the positive electrode as the anode and the negative electrode as the cathode, right? So coming to the conduction of electricity in the electrolytic cell. How the electricity is conducted in the electrolytic cells. So it involves the movement of the ions. Ions here are moving to provide the electricity movement, right? So here, if there is electricity, so there would be the current. Now current is present due to the movement of ion over here. Generally the current is present due to the movement of electrons, and here the ions are moving. Coming to the electrolyte. What is the electrolyte? Electrolyte is a solution or the molten compound, right? Like here in this case I had taken the lead bromide. So electrolyte is a solution or molten compound that will conduct the electricity. It will decompose, right? So it will conduct the electricity. How? With decomposition at the electrode. It contains ions that are free to move towards the electrode, and with the movement of ions I can say the current is moving. So the current is passing with the help of the movement of ions. Coming to the ionic salt. Whenever I have the ionic salt in the solid state, it is not able to conduct the electricity when it is in solid state. Only when it is in the molten or the solution state, then only it can conduct the electricity. Why? In the solid state it is not conducting the electricity because ions are tightly held in the lattice and they are not free to move, right? So I can say the current will not be passing. So coming to the electrolysis of the molten aluminium oxide Al2O3. So here the reduction process happens where Al3 positive plus 3 electron give Al. Oxidation process happen when 2O2 negative gives O2 plus 4 electron. So this is how we can understand the electrolysis, and the electrolytic cell is a cell where the electrolysis process is happening and the current or the electricity is generated due to this. Coming to the question. So it states work out the overall reaction and calculate the cell potential for the cell consisting of Fe3 positive, Fe2 positive half cell and a Zn2 positive Zn half cell, right? So here let's talk about the Zn2 positive and Zn half cell. Here we will be having the half equation. Zn2 positive aqueous plus 2 electron is in equilibrium with Zns, which is having the electrolytic potential minus 0.76 volt. Coming to the Fe3 positive, Fe2 positive half cell. Here Fe3 positive is gaining the electron to give Fe2 positive, which is having the electrostatic potential to be 0.77 volts. So here you can see it is negative. This is more negative value, right? So I can say the reversing of the half equation will be happening over Zn2 positive and Zn. Why? Because this is having more negative electrode potential value, right? So if I see the electrode potential value, if I compare them, I see which one is the more negative. I have to reverse the more negative electrode potential. So when I reverse this equation, I will be having Zns, which is giving me Zn2 positive plus 2 electron. Here now the electrode potential will now be represented with the positive sign. So it will be having the potential 0.76 volt. So cell potential is the electrode potential value which are added together. So if I add the electrode potential value for Fe3 positive, Fe2 positive and the Zns, Zn2 positive, I will be getting the E cell. So E cell is 0.76 plus 0.77, that is 1.53 volt. So here now if I want to find out the overall equation, here you can see I have one electron and in this equation I have two electrons. So first of all, to find out the overall equation, I have to balance the number of electrons. So what I'm going to do, I'm multiplying Fe3 positive, Fe2 positive equation by 2 to make the number of electrons same. So now here the Zns will give me Zn2 positive plus 2 electron and 2 Fe3 positive aqueous plus 2 electron gives 2 Fe2 positive. So electrode potential is not changing. You have to understand this. When even I'm multiplying with the coefficient 2, the electrode potential is 0.77 only, right? So now here that overall reaction would be, here the 2 electron and the 2 electron will get cancelled out and the overall reaction would be Zns plus 2 Fe3 positive aqueous gives Zn2 positive aqueous plus 2 Fe2 positive aqueous, right? And the total overall electrode potential would be same plus 1.53 volt, right? So in this manner we can solve this question. Coming to the next question, it states predict the cell potential for a cell made up of Cu2 positive Cu and Ni2 positive half cells. Indicate which is the positive and which is the negative electrode. Give the direction of the electron flow in the external circuit and write an overall equation for the reaction that occurs, right? So first of all we are going to see the half equations. So for Cu2 positive Cu, we have the half equation. Cu2 positive aqueous plus 2 electron gives Cu in solid and the electrode potential is plus 0.34 volt. Coming to the nickel half equation, so Ni2 positive Ni half equation is Ni2 positive aqueous plus 2 electron is in equilibrium with Nis and the electrode potential is minus 0.23 volt. So now here again you can see Ni2 positive and Ni, it is having more negative electrode potential, so I have to reverse this equation. So when I reverse this equation, because this is a negative electrode and here I can reverse this equation and I will be having the first equation as it is Cu2 positive aqueous plus 2 electron gives Cus and the second equation would be Nis gives Ni2 positive plus 2 electron, right? To find out the overall equation I am going to add both of them. So these two electrons are going to cancel out and the overall equation would be Cu2 positive aqueous plus Nis gives Ni2 positive aqueous plus Cus, right? So here the electrode potential was 0.34. Now for the Nis, the electrode potential for conversion from Ni2 positive to Ni was minus 0.23. But when I am reversing it, the electrode potential will become positive. Electrode potential will be having the plus 0.23 volt value. And now for overall electrode potential, I am going to add these two. I am going to get the overall electrode potential of the cell to be equal to 0.57 volt. Right, so now here we can observe that the electron is lost at the nickel electrode, right? So this was the first question, electron is lost at the nickel electrode. So nickel electrode here is negative electrode. Electron is gained at the copper electrode and copper electrode here is the positive electrode. And the electron is flowing from nickel to the copper electrode. So now coming to the next question, which states predict using standard electrode potential whether or not acidified potassium dichromate 6 will oxidize chloride ions to chlorine. So now acidified potassium dichromate can be represented as Cr2O7 2 negative aqueous. So coming to its half equation, plus 14H positive aqueous plus 6 electron is in equilibrium with 2 Cr3 positive aqueous plus 7H2 and it is having the electrode potential plus 1.33 volt. Coming to the Cl negative to Cl2 half equation, so Cl2 plus 2 electron is in equilibrium with Cl negative aqueous which is having the electrode potential 1.36 volt, right? So now here the probability of the chlorine being oxidized is found out by reversing this half equation. So when the chlorine is being oxidized, we have 2Cl negative is in equilibrium with Cl2 plus 2 electron, right? So the oxidation equation will become 2Cl negative is giving Cl2 aqueous plus 2 electron, and the reduction half reaction would be same. Cr2O7 2 negative aqueous plus 14H positive aqueous plus 6 electron gives 2Cr3 positive aqueous plus 7H2O liquid. And the electrode potential here I am reversing. For 2Cl negative gives Cl2 plus 2 electron. Here the electrode potential is positive 1.36, and because here I have reversed it, the electrode potential would be minus 1.36. So the electrode potential of the cell would be minus 1.36 plus 1.33. I have to add the electrode potential of the oxidation half equation and the reduction half equation. So the overall electrode potential is minus 0.03 volt, which is negative. So I can say this reaction is not spontaneous, and I can say the acidified dichromate will not oxidize chloride ion to Cl2. So this is not feasible. Coming to the basic examples. So here we have the first equation, Cr2O7 2 negative aqueous plus 14H positive aqueous plus 6 electron is in equilibrium with 2Cr3 positive aqueous plus 7H2. We already have seen this equation, and the electrode potential also we have seen it is 1 plus 1.33 volt. Now coming to the iodine half equation. So I2 aqueous plus 2 electron is in equilibrium with 2I negative aqueous, and which is having the electrode potential to be plus 0.54 volt. Right, so here I can say Cr2O7 2 negative is more standard, having the more standard electrode potential, right? So we can see, we can observe here we have the more standard electrode potential. 1.33 is greater than 0.54, and it is acting as an oxidizing agent and will oxidize I negative to I2, right? So if I have to see the oxidizing agent, we have to see which one is having the more standard electrode potential. So overall reaction will be Cr2O7 2 negative aqueous plus 14H positive plus 6I negative gives 2Cr3 positive aqueous plus 7H2O liquid plus 3I2 aqueous, and the electrode potential for the cell would be 1.33 minus 0.54, because I am going to reverse this equation, right? This is having the more negative electrode potential, so I am going to reverse it, right? This will be acting like a negative electrode. So the E cell would be having the negative value of this. So 1.33 minus 0.54 is 0.79 volt, right? Now let's see how we can find out the reducing agent. So now if I have two equation, Mg2 positive aqueous plus 2 electron is in equilibrium with Mgs, and here the electrode potential is minus 2.36 volt, and the lead 2 positive aqueous plus 2 electron gives lead S. So here the electrode potential is minus 0.13 volt. So if I see the Mg2 positive Mg, it is more negative standard electrode potential than the lead, right? So magnesium is having more negative standard potential when Mg2 positive is converting to Mg, and it is acting thus like a reducing agent, and it will reduce the Pb2 positive to Pb. So overall equation for the reduction would be Mgs plus Pb2 positive gives Mg2 positive plus Pb. So I hope you understood the difference between oxidation and the reduction. Now here, if I am talking about the reduction, so here I have to now reverse this equation, right? I have to reverse this equation. Again, it is the negative electrode. Okay, so when it is the negative electrode, here I will be reversing this. It is having more negative value. I will be reversing this, and the electrode potential of the cell would be plus 2.36, because I have reversed this, minus 0.13, which is plus 2.23 volt. So I hope you understood all of the things that I have discussed today. Thank you so much.